Hello, and we are back after it. So you should have noticed some pattern by now, right? 3 to the 4th, raised to the 5th power, we got 3 to the 20th. 7 to the 2nd, raised to the 4th power, we got 7 to the 8th. V to the 3rd, raised to the 6th power, we got V to the 18th. Instead of sitting here and explaining all day, what could we have just done? What's another thing you noted or observed? Absolutely. When raising a power to a power, you could just multiply. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8. And I like to, this is your actual answer simplified. I like to punch this into my calculator and then this into my calculator just to make sure I get the same answer, to make sure they're equivalent. So this is actually your simplified answer. I just like to do this to make sure, okay, I did it right. And then here, V to the 3rd raised to the 6th power, 6 times 3 is 18. What is the pattern that you're noticing? When you raise a power to a power, what can you do with the exponents? We multiply the exponents. Make sure that's written out because we're about to flip the page. Y'all know who Dormammu is from Doctor Strange? This is his voice right here. This is how I remember the power to the power rule. Dormammu. I know it's weird. I know it's weird. Look it up. Look up Dormammu. Power of the, Dormammu. Anyway, go ahead and flip the page. Now we are on page 29 here, right? Expand and simplify the following. See if you can use our new rule to do the work, right? Pause the video and see if you can do it on your own, because I'm actually going to show you something pretty interesting here. So 14 times 15, we have two separate factors in here, and there are a couple things you can do, right? I'm going to do it the more traditional way first, and then we'll see if that helps. So following your order of operations, right, groups, can you do it inside this group? Absolutely you can, right? What is 14 times 15? I'll give you a second. Come on now, it's 2020, you got a calculator. You should get 210, and then your exponent comes out, right? And what does this really mean? This is just 210 times 210 times 210, but this is just going to be 210 to the 3rd power. Notice that I dropped the parentheses there. You don't need to drop them, you can keep them, but let me show you why you could drop the parentheses there, right? So this is 210 to the 3rd power simplified, but look at this. What is the exponent inside of the group? What is 210's exponent? There's a little 1 right there, right? It's just 210 times itself, times nothing. It's just 210 as a factor once. Don't forget that rule. Power raised to another power. 3 times 1 is, woo, math is kind of crazy, right? That shows why you don't need the parentheses there, Another way you can show this is, let's say you didn't do the group, right? Even though you should, following order of operations. This would be 14 times 15 times what? 14 times 15 times what? 14 times 15, absolutely. And what is this? Quite simply, this is just going to be 210 times 210 times 210, which is what? Come on now. Who said math wasn't popping? Come on now. All right? Pretty simple there, right? But we know a power to the power, easy. What you could have also done here, something else is pretty neat, is we had 14 times 15 to the 3rd power, right? 14 and 15 all have exponents on themselves, right? This is 14 to the what? First. 15 to the what? First. Power to the power rule, that's 3 times 1, that's 3 times 1, which would be 14 to the 3rd power times 15 to the 3rd power, right? Do that on your calculator. Give me, what's 14 times 14 times 14 times 15 times 15 times 15, and see if that's not the same thing as 210 to the 3rd power. All right? Go ahead and do that. What's 14 to the 3rd power times 15 to the 3rd power, and see if that's not the same thing as 210 to the 3rd power, okay? Go ahead, check to see if these two things are equivalent. We're close to finishing up this lesson, and I'll check you in the next slide.